Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and I just wanted to share what I'm doing in my scrap room. I am organizing in my scrap room, and one of the things I need to organize is my layouts. The little sheet that I just showed you there, I started that little sheet maybe a year ago, and I just have all the years, like, July 2016, we went to climb a mountain. July 2014, we also went there. July 2000, or whatever month, 2008, we went to Disney, and so on and so forth. So I write it down. So as I'm coming across layouts and I know that it's from that time period, I don't have to rack my brain. What year was that in, and how, because a lot of times my layouts, I didn't put the date. Now, I don't know if you saw the first little roller thing that I took out. I cannot turn the wheels. I don't understand why, but they're frozen. Like, I cannot turn them. I tried everything. I'm gonna probably have to just chuck it because it just will not. I even take something and try to move the little gears so I can change the date. It just will not change. So somehow it's seized. Maybe I can get my husband to look at it. Maybe it just needs a little bit of lubricating and then it'll move. So I'm just going through all the layouts and I'm doing the journaling. This is one of the layouts that I did for the virtual crop back in October. So I've already done the journaling on that. Then I took I think it was like little stickers, and I just wrote down the year, all the years, 2012, 2013, 2014, and I put that above each piles of layout so that when I go put these layouts into albums, I can easily just grab a stack and go, oh, that's all 2016. It all goes in one album, so that it'll make it so that it's much easier to get my pages into albums. Another thing I did was, one of my friends, she's a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, and she had some albums that they were not going to sell anymore, and she had 4 left. And so I just called her or messaged her and said, do you still have those albums? And she said yes. So I just bought all 4 because I know that that's gonna, I think I can put maybe 50 layouts in each album. So that's 200 layouts that I'll be able to put away. Another thing I did was, on Amazon, I bought a package of page protectors of 100. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually mouthing what I am writing down. And I think that's why I find it so hard to journal. I don't know, I don't like to write, I guess. So whenever I do this, I make sure that I stay in that mode for a little bit of time. Now, what I decided to do, a couple years ago, I decided that, I'm going to make 25 pages a week, and then in a year, I'll get 300 pages done. That didn't work because I was, I would make a pile and then I would never get to it. So this year, or right now, I'm going to dedicate 15 minutes every day. And even if I just get 2 or 3 journaled, that's fine. And my mind has enough time in the 15 minutes to get quite a few. The last few times that I did 15 minutes, I was able to journal like on 5 or 6 of them. And if I do 5 or 6 a day, that's enough for me. Eventually, I'll get quite a bit done. So the first thing I'm doing is, as I'm separating it, I'm kind of putting the same events together so that when I'm first putting the date on, I know what date that was on. And the layout that I just showed you in the virtual crop, I told a story of Mason, and he was on a ferry, and this lady was talking to him about dinosaur, and she said, they're extinct, and he said, yeah. And then, that story, that was the layout. So that's still not put away. The layout is done. The story was not on there, but since then I have journaled on that layout. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm finding all the layouts that the journaling is going to be easy to do, whether it's just a couple of lines, not so much the big stories. Yes, I think I'll be left with a lot of the bigger stories at the end, but that's okay, because if I see that pile going down, I'll be happy. And even though this is not like organizing my scrap room, it kind of is, because I have piles of these layouts everywhere waiting to be put into albums. So if I can get those layouts into albums, it's going to free up, first of all, some iris containers that are just filled with layouts that need to be journaled on, and sort of counter space. I have a desk that is just filled with layouts that need to be journaled on. So it's going to be a slow process, but it's something that needs to be done. Now this year, whenever I do a layout for YouTube, what I tend to do is as soon as I turn off the camera, I journal on that layout right away. And as a matter of fact, I've put those layouts into the album right away. But I have to say, the 12 layouts that I did during the virtual crop and the 22 layouts that I did during my crop away a couple weekends ago, those are not journaled on, but they are on that pile and they're going to get journaled right away and then just be put in an album. I just find it extremely difficult to be able to journal during a crop unless I've done my journal on the little recipe cards before, which this time I didn't have time to do that because our crop was going to be canceled, and the day before we were allowed to go. So I didn't have time to do the little journaling cards. And during a virtual crop, it's really difficult to do journaling when you're chatting with 90 people. So those 2 stacks, I'm okay that they're not journaled on. I know that they're going to get done really soon. And here I had an album that's for 2020, and it was right there in my scrap room because a lot of my albums are now in my living room. But that's it. That's how I plan on tackling all those layouts that I need to journal on. And don't forget, I have a new virtual crop on November 21st. It's going to be from 8:30 in the morning till 8:30 at night. And again, it's going to be filled with challenges and getting a bunch of layouts done in one day. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.